because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their gilt rings. Right, the bouncers' gilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Razaban IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to have with me on Zoom the knowledge Spencer Fearon. Spence, good to see you. How are we?
I'm really good, you know. Even better for speaking to you, Raz. Pray everything's good your end.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate that. Yeah, Spence, just a couple of things I want to discuss with you today. Obviously, I think no better place to start. Firstly, women's boxing, Saturday night. Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron. It's a great fight, undisputed versus undisputed. Just get your thoughts on that and Katie Taylor's legacy.
Katie Taylor's legacy's got to be up there. Katie Taylor's been a fantastic ambassador for boxing. I'm not going to say female boxing. I'm just going to say boxing in general. Because when we talk about boxing in general, Katie Taylor is a general. How she got superb ring generalship. She's got really good timing. She puts combinations together really, really well, and she knows how to think. She knows how to gauge rounds. Like, oh, I could be down a bit. I got to pick it up. I've always been a fan of Katie Taylor, always. And you know what? And she's never ran away from a challenge. The Serrano fight. She's always been in it. So because of that, we have to props Katie Taylor to know like what she's done for female boxing. She's been fantastic for female boxing. Absolutely fantastic. She's been fantastic for boxing in general, because I think there were a couple females who came out of, I would say, like, was it the 2012 Olympics, where we looked at it and we said, you know what? This is just boxing now, right? When the young 17-year-old Clarissa Shields, when Katie Taylor, when we watched that, we was like, wow. You know what I mean? Because I was so and also Nicola Adams, can't forget her, right? But more so for like Katie Taylor, because she opened up my eyes to know like I'm watching boxing and not female boxing, and then came along Clarissa Shields. No, I think she's been a fantastic ambassador.
How tough of a fight is this on Saturday against Cameron? Obviously, Cameron's no walkover. She's an undisputed champion, and for a reason. How tough is this going to be for Katie?
It's going to be very, very tough. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of the size of Chantel, the fact that Chantel has got spite, and Chantel is a very quick combination puncher, right? Chantel Cameron is a very, very good boxer. And not only that, she's got very good camp as well. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking Katie's camp because she got good camp, but she's got a really good camp. Like Nigel Travis, he's a kind of like behind the scenes guy with a flat cap. Nigel Travis really knows boxing because his dad knows boxing. And we can't knock Jamie Moore. Jamie Moore came under the tutelage of Oliver Harrison. Oliver Harrison, God rest his soul, really knew boxing, because I would sit down and speak for hours about the game with Oliver. So he's come from good tutelage himself, and he was a superb professional fighter. Absolutely superb professional fighter, former British, Commonwealth, and European champion. So salute. So it's good camps going up against each other. And that for me, what makes this fight very, very mouth-watering. And for the first time in history, male or female, are we seeing two undisputed champions in the 4-belt weight era? Yeah, two champions being both undisputed, with their 4 belts clashing each other. We've never seen it before in male or female boxing. So and this is the thing that should be pumped even more. I had a word with Frank Smith the other day. He came on The Fight Is Right, and Frank was saying, yeah, that's something big. So you know what I mean? It is big. So we've got to big up Matchroom for doing that. You know.
Spence, historically, the 130 division to maybe the 147 division has always been epic, great fighters going through those divisions. A man on the rise, Devin Haney, undisputed champion of the lightweight division, takes on another great champion, former great champion in Vasily Lomachenko. A lot of people are sleeping on Lomachenko, saying that he might just be past it. How do you analyze this?
Listen, Lomachenko has a fantastic chance of winning this fight. And I mean a fantastic chance of winning this fight, right? Because of his experience. What did he have? Like 390 odd fights, only losing one as an amateur, right? He's really good. Let's just call it as it is. But when you're looking at that, someone practices something 300 times in a row, 300 times in a row, knowing about going into competition, 300 times about knowing like in beating nerves, 300 times. That would put you head and shoulders above most professional fighters who are getting ready to go and fight right now, right? So when people say, well, he hasn't that, Devin Haney's had more professional fights than Lomachenko. But when you think about it, them WBS fights that he had, they're professional fights. Let's be real. You know what I mean? So when people say, oh, well, he won, he won a world title in his second pro fight, yeah? No, you never, because you had WBS fights as well, right? So I don't think people should be sleeping on Lomachenko because Lomachenko is very, very good. But what I am saying is, and I'm just going to keep this thing real, in the gyms in America, people have seen that kind of style, what Lomachenko possesses. People on the European circuit will get gassed over it because they're not used to seeing a European fighter fight the way like you'd see an American fighter, especially a Black American fighter fight. So they'll call it like it's some wow factor. There is nothing that Lomachenko has done that I haven't seen Pernell Whitaker do. In fact, Pernell Whitaker is better than Lomachenko, right? But it's only because Europeans weren't used to seeing that kind of style being demonstrated by another European. So you're going to be gassed over it. Oh my God, we're looking at something superb. Don't get twisted. Lomachenko is bloody good, right? But it's nothing that I haven't seen before, right? And I'm just keeping this thing totally 100, right? So Devin Haney, he's been in the gym with Floyd Mayweather, Zab Judah, right? Who was a bloody superb fighter, right? Former undisputed world welterweight champion and unified junior welterweight champion. Is his godfather. He's been around great men like Mike McCallum, who's one of the greatest ever do it in the last 50 years, right? So he's been around Floyd Sr., being trained by Floyd Sr., being in the gym with Floyd Mayweather. So those kind of things make you catch up. And also, people need to look like he's younger, he's fresher, he's faster than Lomachenko, right? Lomachenko isn't a concussive one-punch knockout artist. He's hurtful puncher. But how I'm looking at it here is I believe that Devin Haney can do exactly the same thing as what Teofimo Lopez did, but they're different styles. Teofimo Lopez is a more rounded, and his timing of these shots are like shots, and they're hurtful shots as well. You know what I mean? Devin's are more faster. His shots are more faster. They're more accurate. And Devin will be just happy just to pump the jab and I'll just beat you on the jab. Right? And are we forgetting? It's been many a year now since Luke Campbell fought Lomachenko. And Lomachenko didn't overly impress me in that fight. I'm just keeping this thing totally 100. So do I think it's at the right timing? No. I think that Lomachenko is superb, but he's been overgassed for the quick success that he's had, but he is superb. I think Devin Haney is a very, very special talent, right? And I don't think that he's going to be overly phased. I think he's, this would not surprise me if Devin Haney was to stop Lomachenko because he's 35 now. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay, and I'm gonna see in the comments. Oh, I'm only picking Devin Haney because he's black. Right, here we go. Right? No, I break down. No, that's that's what I'm gonna get because that's what I get in the comments. Right? No, I just think that Devin Haney is the younger and fresher man of the two, and the more hungry of the two. And not only that, but there were certain parts of Lomachenko's characteristics that I didn't like the bag of excuses when he came out second best against Timothy Lopez, on a couple of performances it has, and he comes up with these excuses. I'm saying, like, I like you, but I don't like the excuses that are coming out your mouth. So off of that, I know the tunnel vision that Bill Haney, who I have to give all the props in the world to, who started off this parent to partnership with his son in Devin Haney. And I really do think that Devin Haney is a special talent, and he should come out victorious.
Well, we look forward to a great night of boxing, both in Ireland and in Las Vegas. Spencer, I want to read you a quote that came out a couple of days ago from Carl Froch, and it goes, and I'm reading the exact quote, which is, AJ has had a fantastic career financially, but maybe it niggles him that he's probably got no real legacy. He's not in the Hall of Fame, unlike the Cobra. Carl Froch obviously made those comments about Anthony Joshua, and just want to get your response about.
Okay. Well, you know what? Carl Froch is a clever human being. He's a very clever man. You know what I mean? But where I'm from, we call that bad mind as well. You know what I mean? Like, you're bad minded. I'll have to my non Caribbean and African people who would understand what we mean when we say that's bad mind, right? You know why he's not in the Hall of Fame like Carl Froch? Because in order to get into the Hall of Fame, you have to be retired for 5 years, right? But I guarantee you, if he was to retire, if AJ was to retire tomorrow, second time, maybe not first ballot, but second ballot around, he'd be in the Hall of Fame, right? You can't knock the nights that AJ has done or the men that he's beaten. The only two men that he hasn't defeated, because he's faced everyone. He hasn't faced Tyson Fury. He hasn't faced Deontay Wilder. There's potentiality of him facing Deontay Wilder right now, right? Carl Froch is entitled to say what he's saying, because you have to look at Carl Froch and look at the things that Carl Froch has accomplished. Carl Froch, in accomplishment, it's ridiculous. Carl Froch faced everybody in his division, right? He came up second best against Kessler, but then he reversed it. He came up second best against Andre Ward, who's going to go down as one of the greatest to ever do it, right? There's no shame in that. Carl Froch came up second best to him. But when he's saying, like, on those things about Anthony Joshua is going to do those things. Because let me tell you this, if Anthony Joshua had retired after beating Klitschko, we wouldn't be saying that. If he'd said, you know what, I've had a fantastic run, I'm so grateful for boxing, blah, 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 and I'm saying good night, I'm retiring, nobody would complain. He'd be up there, right? And when you're saying that Anthony Joshua's done well financially, that sounds a little bit like you're begrudging the man that he's done well financially. Are you begrudging him, knowing that the plethora of money that man brought into boxing for everybody to eat? Everybody ate for Anthony Joshua. So when Carl Froch is saying that, I know where it's coming from. And I'm telling you, like, Carl Froch is a competitor, right? But I'm going to be real. There could be a little bit of jealousy going on there. How about that? I'm being real, because Carl Froch was never indebted to the fans, right? He was respected, but he was never indebted. Anthony Joshua did some crossover thing where everybody was just on Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua broke boundaries, made guys who weren't even in the sport. We go back famously to Stormzy coming out on a Shut Up tune. And when you hear do 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 do, what do you think of? What do you think of? I think of Anthony Joshua, Dylan White. What was that? December of 2015. Crazy, that's like 8 years ago now, right? That's what we think of. None of these boys have done that. When you say like Anthony Joshua has done well financially, of course he's done well financially, but Anthony Joshua isn't greedy, because him doing well financially has made other people in the game go financially. Maybe he's still begrudging Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua broke the record that he was saying when he had 90,000. Anthony Joshua got what, 90? Anthony Joshua got more people in Wembley than you. Anthony Joshua was endeared by the public. He was loved by the public. I'm not saying that the public love him now. Things change. This is the game. But props and credit to when it's due. And we have to give the props and credit to Anthony Joshua for what he's done. Like, I saw that comment when he was saying, like, oh, if he fights Wilder, Wilder will bang him out in one round. You know what I mean? And I agree with him, but I have to say to you, I could agree with you on that. I would say, okay, then, and you know what I mean? Because Deontay Wilder, anybody hits, he can knock out. No ifs or buts, right? But what's the reason why you're really saying it, right? And the reason why you're really saying it, I think you're feeling slightly aggrieved that Anthony Joshua left Robert McCracken, and your allegiance is with Robert McCracken because you're openly spoken about it, right? But calm down a little piece. You know what I mean? Calm down a little piece. Understand when people say things, where it's coming from. You know what I mean? And I believe I know where it's coming from. What you're saying there about Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? It's coming from a place of bad mind. Right? And also you support your guy. You know what I mean? Robert Cracken's your guy, you're gonna support him. But it's coming from a place of bad mind.
Okay, Spence. Just moving away from Joshua and Carl Froch. Obviously, you broke some news a couple of days ago. I haven't been able to catch up with you, but obviously Daniel Dubois splitting with trainer Shane McGuigan, and you confirmed this on your channel. The Fight Is Right that he has teamed up with Don Charles. Just let me know when did this happen? Why did it happen? And there's a lot happened since. I just want to kind of give you an open question, and you can just elaborate further. But an article came out on Everything Boxing Twitter account last night where it was stated that Shane McGuigan was given an ultimatum by the father of Caroline and Daniel, and he was told that you can only, if you keep Caroline, I'm going to take Daniel away from you, basically.
Well, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? But what I'm gonna say is this: it's like with David Dubois, the father of Daniel and Caroline, right? He should be commended. I think he's got 11 children, right? They're all in one house. He's got 11 children for, I don't know, I think it's 3 different women, right? But he's kind of like the Joe Jackson of boxing, right? I'm gonna be real with you. He is, right? And off of that, I'm saying culturally, you should be commended that you've raised your children. Raising kids is not easy. It's difficult. Anyone knows. You know what I mean? It's not easy. And you're not always going to get it right neither. I'm just going to be real. You're not. But you've done something right. I know one of your sons is like 10 fluent in Mandarin and Cantonese. Crazy, right? So he's just been that father who's been overbearing. But you know what? I'd rather be overbearing than nonchalant. So when they say like, oh, well, I don't know nothing about, if you could keep this one, you can't have, I don't know the riff that's going on there. What I am saying is this is like, I understand West Indian culture, I understand African culture when it comes to parenting, right? It's very stern. It's very biblical. You know what I mean? Don't spare the rod, don't spoil the child. It's that way inclined. You know what I mean? Not saying that's the right way, but it's a way that has been in today's society that can't be run. So maybe Shane not understanding how things are done in the Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean culture, he could be aggrieved by certain things, or he could be aggrieved by that kind of relationship or all the rest of it. But what's done is done. What I can say is this: he's now with Don Charles, right? And people are being very critical to Don Charles, and I'm saying like, Don Charles is a very good trainer who hasn't been given the dues. Now he's got somebody that he can work with, and it's a massive ask for him up against Usyk, but he has to work. He's got to work. He's got to earn that. He's got to earn that cheddar, because he's going to have to work, and he's going to have to fine tune certain things and bring Dubois out. I think it's a good thing that Dubois is around Don Charles. He's also around Jason Matthews, former WBO middleweight champion, because he's there in the camp as well. I think that's a good thing, right? I think it's a good thing for Daniel. Has been tunnel vision, everything boxing. You know what I mean? So I think now we're going to see more Daniel Dubois' personality come out, because he's going to feel comfortable being around those men. That's what I'm saying. And we shall see what happens from there.
Spence, obviously, you know the in-house. Obviously, you broke that news a few days ago. Do you think Daniel Dubois takes on Usyk next? Do you think that he goes into that fight next? The purse bids are next week. There are rumors that that fight might not happen next, and the governing bodies have said that if Daniel Dubois is not ready, then Deontay Wilder will be asked to take on Usyk as a mandatory challenger.
I think that it's going to be Usyk and Daniel Dubois next, because Usyk's team will be saying, yeah, Daniel Dubois, right? He's the WBA regular champion, so it's an easy fight to make. It'll go to purse bids. Whatever gets done, it gets done. And he will take that fight to think that'd be a decent warm-up to prepare me if I've got to go in to fight anybody in December. If it's going to be Tyson Fury, it could be Deontay Wilder. It doesn't, right. I would put him in that mindset, in that position, to say that he's going to go and fight those guys.
Okay, Spence, always a pleasure. Thank you for your time. Yeah, we'll catch up early next week. Obviously, next week we've got
big up, man. But I'm gonna say again, Carl Froch, you're a bad man, and that's that. You know what I mean? Swear down. It's like everyone's on this. They're waiting for this demise of Anthony Joshua, because everyone on this. If AJ fights, wow, he's gonna get knocked out. He's gonna get knocked out. And I want to know when this, like, it could be you actually do feel that, but I want to know about where is it coming from. Because I'm telling you this now, if Anthony Joshua was with Robert McCracken, Carl Froch would have never said that thing. Ever. And even though Carl Froch is his own guy, but you never have said that. But where is it coming from? Everybody should be get behind Anthony Joshua. I'm bigging up Anthony Joshua hardcore. I see him out the other day, he posted he was out with a crew. He was out with Nines, who's a fantastic rapper. Big up Nines. He was out with those guys. Even, I think, Nines rapped for him when he went out for the Povetkin fight. Right? So I'm saying Anthony Joshua, a lot of people should be saluting that kid. Now, I can't say kid is a grown-ass man now, but I'm saying, like, but to me, you're a kid. I'm a big man to you, right? But I'm saying, like, we should be saluting that guy for what he's done for the country, for professional sports, and for the financing of professional sports, right? Especially for boxing. We should be saluting that young man. That's what I'm saying.
Spencer Fearon for IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,